Well, folks, we have got some big news in the MAGA America First Republican Party. Tulsi Gabbard, who is President Trump's pick to lead or to be the director of national intelligence, was confirmed, I believe, yesterday. Yep, confirmed yesterday as the new director of national intelligence. Now, we've got a lot to break down in this. How did that Senate vote go, and what really we can really anticipate from her leading the department moving forward. And what could be some immediate changes that we see coming up, because this is a big one. Although it's kind of a ceremonial role, she kind of oversees the intelligence agencies, makes sure that they talk between each other and they're sharing information properly. But hey, before we get into this, I just want to say I had a video a couple of days or yesterday that absolutely blew up, that got right now, as we're counting, we're almost 27,000 views and over 105 subscribers since this was posted, not even about a day ago now. So I just want to thank all of my new subscribers that we have. Welcome to the channel. We are going to do everything we can to get you the best, most refined information on what's going on in the world right now. But so as I said, Tulsi Gabbard confirmed, really, as the director of the national intelligence at this point. And it is very noteworthy. Now, she served, I believe, 4 terms as a U.S. representative from Hawaii. She was a Democrat, ran for president in 2020 as a Democrat. She was in the military, holds the rank of a lieutenant colonel in the U.S. Army Reserves, really, and it makes her the first female combat veteran to ascend to this role as the head of the DNI. Now, the DNI has only been in place for about 2 decades now. Obviously, it was established after the terror attacks on 9/11, when there were some issues between the FBI and the CIA, where the CIA had some intelligence that there were people who were training to learn to fly planes, but really had no interest in learning to land those planes. They wanted to take off and fly them, and that's really it. They had intelligence that this was happening, but was not sharing that with the FBI because they thought that that may prevent them from making arrest or prosecuting people domestically in this investigation. So the DNI was created in the Intelligence Reform and Terrorism Prevention Act of 2004. It's an executive branch position. She will provide the daily the national security briefs and all classified documents that get to the president from the intelligence agencies go through her to get to President Trump every day if there is national security or intelligence that needs to get to the president. That will go through Tulsi Gabbard, as she will prepare that. Her and her assistants and aides will prepare that report for the president. Now, there was a lot of criticism. People didn't think right off the bat that she would get all the way through this. There was a couple Republicans, even most Democrats, that had issues with her previous foreign policy positions, particularly engagements that she had with Syria's leader, Bashar al-Assad, really had sparked some controversies with the Democrats, and a lot of supporters condemned her, kind of her non-interventionist. She's not an interventionalist. She doesn't want to get involved in other issues around the world. Well, a lot of critics say that, that can be perceived as being sympathetic towards those certain regimes. No, it just doesn't mean that we don't need to get involved in every issue that happens around the world. Like Trump says, if you have 2 people fighting in the Middle East, not fighting us, fighting each other, why are we going to step in and try and fight each of them? Let them fight each other, and then if we have to deal with one of them, we're going to deal with one of them. I think her whole non-interventionalist stance was really blown out of proportion, really taken as a Putin sympathizer, as a Assad sympathizer, totally blown out of context by the liberal media. But here's the thing. The liberal media is irrelevant now. They have become so irrelevant. They're firing all the big names, and really they're becoming independent journalists because they know that this is the future. But the Senate confirmed Gabbard by a vote of 52-48, basically completely along party lines. The only Republican who did not vote for Tulsi Gabbard was former Senate leader Mitch McConnell. Joined all the Democrats, opposed her confirmation, really saying that his concerns was with her judgment about past foreign policy positions. Now, it's really a big contrast with our new GOP majority leader, John Thune, who praised Gabbard's patriotism, and leadership, highlighting that she has a commitment to reducing costs within the office of the Director of National Intelligence, and really to get the office so it's not politicized anymore. It has been politicized the last 4 years by the Biden administration, and we must do everything we can. And I think she is the right person. Time will tell. And here's the thing. If she turns out to not be the right person, Trump will fire her. That's the great thing about this. Trump can have all these picks, and then if they don't do what he says, especially like RFK and Tulsi Gabbard had a lot of pushback. Let's say RFK starts to promote his pro-abortion views. Now, he says he's kind of changed a little bit, but he's going to stay in line with what President Trump wants. Well, if he gets out of line, President Trump just looks him right in the eye and say, Bobby, you're fired. Get the hell out. It's as simple as that. So if they do step out of line, President Trump has a lot to lean on here. But I think this is going to be great. And you know what? I just want to pause and give a big thank you to our GOP majority leader, John Thune. Now, I did not support him right off the bat. I supported Rick Scott. I had a good idea that it was going to be John Thune. I didn't think Cornyn from Texas really had a shot at the leader position. But John Thune has had a great ground game in the Senate, teamed up with Vice President J.D. Vance to get these controversial nominees across the finish line. RFK Jr., Tulsi Gabbard, Kash Patel. He has got these big names across the finish line where they weren't going to have bipartisan support. Pete Hegseth. They have done a great ground game. They've had a great ground game when it comes to getting these people across the line. And I wasn't very thrilled that he was going to be our leader, but he's our leader now. And you have to give the guy, I'm not here to just hate on people just to hate on people. Hats off to him for getting this taken care of. Hats off for pushing through the first part of President Trump's agenda by getting these people he nominated through the confirmation process here. And, you just got to call a spade a spade. It's as simple as that. But now getting back into it, as the newly appointed DNI, Gabbard has pledged to reform the intelligence communities. Her big aim is to increase transparency, reduce the personnel and costs, and address the politicization of the intelligence agencies. She has emphasized the importance of holding individuals accountable for unauthorized disclosures of intelligence information. Her commitment to these reforms suggests that there is a shift towards a more streamlined and accountable intelligence process and apparatus. The thing is there were a lot of Republicans and Democrats who had issues with potential sympathies for Edward Snowden, who had leaked information about a decade ago from the intelligence agencies. And, I think she has really confirmed that she is not going to be okay with people who are leaking intelligence like that. The issue is that with her, we need to reduce the cost. That's what Trump's all about. We need to reduce the cost, the size, the personnel, be more transparent, be more streamlined. Things need to be more streamlined, less bureaucratic red tape that you have to get through to get intelligence from the lowest link at these intelligence agencies to the top link. If there's 8 barriers right now, we need to reduce that down to 4 barriers to get that information. The ease of information is essential to reforming these intelligence committees and reducing personnel and costs. Now, in her statements, she has really criticized the previous administration. They politicize the intelligence agencies in the United States, and she really wants to refocus our intelligence community on intelligence. She has vowed that she's going to restore public trust and ensure national security is the top priority, not political weaponization against a potential political opponent. Now, granted, she does have limited intelligence experience, but, I feel like that's how most of the nominees have been with the Trump administration so far, and I'm really okay with that. I don't think we should just be leaning on, okay, who's next in line from the intelligence agencies to be the DNI? Who's next in line at HHS? It's like when the Biden administration the assistant secretary to HHS is Rachel Levitt, who was a transgender radical leftist lunatic. I think that's just the natural consequences you get someone like RFK Jr. in. I like the way that Trump's going about this. I don't think it's going to be as complicated to run these agencies. And when you're focused on kind of Elon Musk's approach, where you're going to go in, we're going to take this thing hostage, we're going to reduce personnel, we're going to strip it down to nothing, and then we're going to kind of figure out what we need to do. That's how he's done it. That's how he did it at Twitter. It's like that's just how it works in the tech space. So very interested to see how it all works out, especially with the proposed reforms that she has and what the implementation process is going to be. But this really marks a significant moment in the evolution of our nation's intelligence leadership. You know, she has a very unique background, and the stated objectives that she has are really going to set the stage for potential changes within the intelligence community that are a must at this point. They are needed. But the true impact of her leadership is going to unfold over time. We have no way of determining how things are really going to go right now. We can listen to what she says and what she says she is going to do, but it's going to take time to figure out what is the reality, what are the implementation of these processes, what is the actual real world effect of these processes. And it's crucial for us to stay on top of this, stay informed, to really assess how things are going, what, if she's implementing a new process or they're cutting staff there. Do those developments align with our national security interests and our democratic values? That's really what it's all about. But let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments. What are your thoughts on Tulsi Gabbard's nomination? Do you think it's a good thing? Do you think it's a bad thing? Do you think she's going to be able to bring those reforms to the intelligence community that are really a must at this point? Do you think she's going to be able to get it done? But as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button so you always stay updated on all the videos that we get out. Until next time, thank you.